Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Customize Your Success Summit. I'm Tina Parker, your host and founder of Lead Outside the Lines, where leaders stop checking the box and start leading with courageous authenticity. I'm really excited today to have Nicole Weber with us. Nicole is the founder of two digital marketing agencies, Spot Digital Marketing and Nug Digital Marketing. She's been running these global agencies for 22 years, directing the accounts for thousands of companies, ranging from small startups to multi-billion-dollar companies. She lives in Temecula, California, where I live too, with her husband, Vince, and her two standard poodles, Stanley and Stella. She and her husband have been together for over 32 years and have run several businesses together during that time. Currently, they also own and manage the Double Standard Ranch. It's a short-term rental and event property on 10 acres near wine country. So if you're in the business for an event, you might want to reach out to Nicole because it's pretty awesome. Nicole, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is really wonderful. I can't wait to hear your story because I know you, above anybody else, have really customized the success that you have in your life to fit who you are and how you want to live. So first, I'd love for you to start, though, when you were growing up. What was that definition of success that you were taught or that you just picked up along the way?
Yeah, I think for me, when I was growing up, I always thought success meant money and wealth. And my parents were both they were teachers. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a firefighter. So we were always like really middle class Americans. And I remember though, there were some like successful people. Like we had a neighbor that I thought was so successful because they had a lot of property and they had a beautiful home and they had nice cars. And so I always just kind of thought that was success. And also I was also taught that to get something like that, you needed to go to school, go to college, get a job, work really hard, and so that was just kind of what my parents always taught me, that education and working really hard at a job so I could get, a little bit of money and be successful. So that was my thought when I was growing up.
Yep, I get that. And a lot of people have that when they're growing up. But now, though, what does success mean to you? Because I know this definition has evolved for you with what you're doing with your life.
Yeah. So several years ago, it became more important to me to create time and money, but I really wanted to make sure that time and money were never an issue. So that's kind of been my little motto for years now. And so, time, you don't get that back, right? Money, you can always make money, lose money. I mean, money just flows. But the time is super important. So that's always first. But having the time and the money to be able to do whatever I want has really been the key to my success. And it's just something that has evolved. But for me, that is having my own business. Yeah. And that started 22 years ago of creating my own business, because for 22 years, my time has been my own. My calendar is my own. I do not, sure, there's things that I do and I put things on the calendar, for it to run the business, but I can always manage my own calendar. I manage my own time. And with money, it's not like I have like millions of dollars just sitting around in the bank. But what I do have is I know how to make money. I know how to get money when I need it. And so both of those things, time and money, never an issue. To me, that's success.
Yeah, that's so great. And I know there's a lot of people out there who haven't quite gotten to that point yet of stepping into that space, but they think about it. They really would love to have what you have created. And along your journey to where you are now, what shifted for you that you said, nope, that's not it. It's not the cars. It's not the fancy stuff. It's not all the money and all the stuff, but I can make money whenever I want, and I want my own time. What led you to shift in that way?
Yeah. Well, I think it was when I got out of school, I immediately went and got my job. And so I had jobs for, several years in corporate America. And, I had the schedule and just working really hard for other people. And the last job that I had was during the .com boom and then bust. And it is where I watched a lot of other people that I kind of put up on a pedestal. It's like, oh, these are the owners, they must know, and I watched them blow through millions and millions of dollars in a very short amount of time. And we had nothing to show for it. We didn't even have a product. And it was like so hard to watch that. But on the other side, I'm like, you know what? I can do just as well, or maybe better. Well, I could run my own company, And so that was a big shift for me, watching other people who I had put up on a pedestal, watching them kind of fail with this business. And then I found myself out of a job because of it. And so it was the kick in the butt that I needed to create my own business. And that's what I did 22 years ago. That's when I started the design business. So yeah, it was watching others and knowing that I could do it just as good, if not better.
Yeah, there's a whole thing there about trusting yourself to take that leap and do it, and you clearly have. And so along the way, though, that's a big leap to make. Right, going from corporate and having a job and then going, nope, I can do this myself. And you start your own venture. There's a lot that happens to get that going. So in that process, in that journey, did you ever question or second guess yourself? And if you did, what got you back on track?
Yes, all the time. I'm like, I'm thinking, when stuff got tough, right? It's like, well, maybe I'll just go get a job at a coffee shop and I can be making coffees, and then I can go home at 5 o'clock and not worry about stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
That would run through my head quite often. But no, I've definitely had some challenges, with the business. I've had partnerships that have not gone well. I've had people, working for me. One time I had 3 top employees that all quit on the same day and decided they could, take my clients and go create their own agency. Yeah, that was fun.
Wow. That was fun.
And then I've had other employees again quit and try to steal clients. It's in my agency that happens, and it's very disheartening. And but it's something that, so those have been a couple of really big challenges that I have gone through. And of course, yeah, I was like, oh, I've had enough. That's it. I want to quit. But the bottom line is I'm here to help and serve and help people create and grow their businesses. And that's what I love to do. And so I just, I power on, and I also have really been able to get a lot more help and support, especially in these last, year or two. And so I don't have to take everything on myself. There's a lot of people out there that want to be a part of what I'm creating. And so I'm allowing that, and I'm allowing to get some help and support. So
yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people, 2 things. One, some people think like entrepreneurship is so glamorized. Oh, I'm going to go build my own business. It's going to be amazing every day. And I'm going to sip Mai Tais on the beach while all this money rolls in. And yes, you can get to that point. That doesn't happen right away. There's a lot of work and a lot of risk that entrepreneurs take on when they start their own business. And I love that you shared, like, hey, sometimes things happen like that are really less than ideal. Like 3 of your clients at one time, or 3 of your employees at one time going and taking clients with them. But the benefit, though, is what you just shared, like your big why. You are helping people build their business through marketing. And, I think when times get tough, it's that big why, like, what the heck am I really doing here? I'm not just checking the box. I'm not just, doing. There's a bigger reason that you started this. And so thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people might lose sight of that.
Yeah.
So it's really important. So for those that, they're thinking about maybe taking that step or even just making a change in their own current career, right? Just changing how they're showing up, asking for help, right? Just like you just said, what do you believe is most important for folks to focus on if they're looking to customize their own success in their own way, like you have?
Mhm. I think having goals, dreams, that you need a place to start, even though, I've had so many goals. I love writing down the goals. I love having my lists of what I'm doing, and things change. They totally will shift. But I think having a goal to start and moving towards that goal every single day has been really key for me, and being able to communicate that too with not only my team but with my husband. So because we've run a lot of businesses together over the years, and we communicate like crazy, and we've got our spreadsheets and we've got our goals, we've got everything that, and so I think it's just, and stuff, like I said, it shifts, but to have something to start with, and then start making, like, what are those little things that I need to do every day? Who do I need to become, to get this and to be this, the person that I want to be. But I think it's also, it's good to have mentors and, maybe coaches, and see other people, what they've created. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always watched people really carefully. And I'm watching to see what they do that I like and I want, or what they're doing that I don't want,
Right.
I don't want in my life. And those were like mentors to me before that I even knew what that meant. But I've always done that. I've always watched people, and when I see something that I want, if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to reach out to somebody who's done it. And I'll be, see if they can mentor me, see if I can coach with them, see what I can do. So it's getting that help and that support to accomplish your goals. Because, it's sometimes, I feel like an island out here, and so it's, to me, it's like really amazing to be around a bunch of other agency owners, and to be around other people that are, who have created what I'm looking for. So I think, there's a lot of things, but it's like setting those goals, getting the help and the support that you need, and just keep moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, keep moving forward. And what you just shared about who you're surrounding yourself with and who you're learning from is really key, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You've got this grand idea and it's a unique idea. Someone else has done something along those ways, right? So success leaves footprints.
Right.
So follow in some of the other footprints and make some of your own, obviously, but you don't have to go it alone, and you can learn from others. Yeah. So good. Is there anything else that you would want to share before we wrap up today?
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
Yep. What is it? You're either growing or you're dying. I heard that forever ago. And it's like, I feel like that's so true. It's just like, you just keep going. I love learning. I'm, always like, reading new books and learning new stuff. And of course, being in the marketing and high tech industry, it's like our industry changes daily. There's always things to learn. But yeah, so that's a big thing for me, is keep learning.
Keep learning, keep growing. Yep. So good. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing these nuggets of wisdom. I really appreciate it. I know the audience does too. So many great things in there. And until next time, tune back in. I'm sure Nicole will be back at some other point. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you later.